Music, something that impacts almost everyone's life. Whether it's the soothing sounds of jazz or the blasting sound of rock, music has a role in almost everyone's life one way or another. However, coming across real, genuine music is often tough nowadays. Streaming services are at the forefront of the war against music. Streaming platforms disconnect some generations from high-quality cultural music because of unfair wealth distribution. Laws must be in place to ensure that artists are being paid fairly and high-quality music is being produced. Raise your hand if you've listened to music via a streaming service in the past week. So how did this problem start? Just a few decades ago, people would walk to their local record store and buy CDs or vinyl. However, today, people can just open up Spotify or any other streaming platform and listen to their favorite song or artist at the touch of a button. Here's what 71-year-old jazz composer and producer Singing Eagle has to say.
As an independent artist, I go directly to the streaming services through my distribution services. Now, in the old days, we would put something out and the managers would take it and we'd make sure we got paid. But now, the streaming services take most of the money and we get hardly anything.
Artists and their teams used to get the money directly from when someone would buy the music. However, with streaming services, the service is paid first and then the artist, and they don't get very much money. So what's the problem with being able to access music so easily? Well, according to this YouTube video,
according to Digital Music News, YouTube pays the least fairly at around $1.50 per 1,000 streams, while Spotify pays roughly $7.50 and Apple Music $12 per 1,000.
That makes artists making less than a cent per stream of music. With many artists spending hundreds or even thousands of dollars for a song, they would have to get millions of streams to even make a decent profit. But the problem runs much deeper than that. Many artists begin to question why they should even begin getting into the music industry itself if they're not going to earn a livable wage. And that causes many artists who have potential to write well-crafted, beautiful music to resort to catchy, simple pop songs because that's what sells the most money. So here's an example. Listen to the first clip of music and raise your hand if you've ever heard it before. Then listen to the second clip and raise your hand if you've heard that. Whether you like the first clip or second clip more, there's a very big difference. One is very well known and one not so much. And musically, there's a very big difference between them. But what if this continues? As artists are paid less and less, the culture of music becomes less significant. What would happen in 50 years if all the mainstream music becomes bland, simple, and commercialized? Though many people don't realize it, there's a significant relationship between a society's culture and their music. Cultural elements will resort to inane topics like sex, drugs, and violence, and the fabrication of well-written, good-quality music will be lost. Studies show that classical and jazz music make you more emotionally available, sleep better, ease pain, boost brain power, and improves memory. Consider the long-term effect on a society that doesn't have music like classical to improve their lives. Good music and money do have a correlation. In small groups, please discuss how many artists you think make minimum wage from Spotify streams. The answer is only about 13,000 artists, which is far below 1% of the total amount on Spotify. So what's to be done about this issue? I'm going to show a quick PSA that demonstrates ways to spread awareness about the impact of music and culture. The best way to spread awareness about this issue is through social media. Have a podcast or an Instagram account? What about TikTok? Have Twitter, Reddit, YouTube, or any other way of spreading news? Post the problems that musicians are facing. You can even start up petitions to get support for the rise up against commercialized music. The more people who can hear the problems that musicians are facing and the art culture is facing, the better. The future of music is in our hands. Based on the PSA, describe to your group 2 ways that you can help spread awareness about the downfall of music. Reversing the effects that have already been made is hard, but can be done through federal minimum wages. Without these laws, streaming services will continue to pay their artists unfairly, and musical culture will deteriorate. The minimum wage needs to be increased to 1 cent per stream. That doesn't sound like much, but it's about twice as much as what artists are paid now. This should help the smaller artists who make far less than minimum wage from streams. So what do I think? I believe that streaming services unfairly pay their artists, and it's causing a cultural decline because of artists not getting the funds or incentive they need to make good music. The artistic decline is much worse than many people realize and has negative effects on health, sleep, coherency, memory, and pollutes the minds of future generations. Something needs to be done, so join me and the many others in revolutionizing art for the future generations.